guys, this is Divij. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Today I wanted to talk about some things that are going on in the world. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening. Some of it's honestly not so positive. It's actually very negative. There was an 18-year-old TikTok star named, I'm going to say her name wrong, so I apologize, but I think it's Divij Schaefer. She's 18 years old, TikTok star known by the name D. She just died by suicide. Super unfortunate. I was reading the article on Complex. It says, known as D online, the teen reportedly took her own life. According to People magazine, a coroner from Louisiana's East Baton Rouge Parish Coroner's Office verified that they were on the scene for a suicide death on Tuesday. Schaefer's father, Rahim Allah, shared the news on TikTok, writing, "I just want to thank everyone for the love and support of my daughter. Unfortunately, she is no longer with us and has gone to a better place." You know, absolutely beautiful girl, and it's such a tragic, terrible thing. And you know, we saw something similar in the sense that it was a suicide with the kid on Robinhood. Obviously, there's been a lot of drama around Robinhood, but this kid committed suicide because he thought he owed Robinhood like $800,000 or something. And you know, Robinhood is not a social media, but it's a platform out there that people are using, just like TikTok, and these platforms are now causing people, not to say TikTok was the reason she obviously committed suicide, obviously that's just speculation, we don't know that to be true, but it's completely just messed up and it's so terrible. You know, her mother, Jennifer Schaefer, tweeted, she mentioned on Facebook, "I'm so heartbroken, I really can't believe you're gone. I wish I was waiting on you to say it was a prank, but it's not. I wish I could have died instead of you. R.I.P. to my angel. Everyone talks about our bad times, but never talks about the good times. Hashtag baby girl D." It's a completely fucked up thing, and the reason I wanted to talk about this, and I know this is not the vibe that, you know, I like to really have typically, but it's just such a terrible thing. And I think, you know, there's a new app called Clubhouse, right? If you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. But I was on this app, and I've been in these different rooms with these different people, and there's been a lot of conversations of bullying on the app, you know, people saying rude things, people starting rooms about people, and you know, maybe attacking the female group, or you know, black people on the app. And I was thinking to myself, and I was like, you know, somebody that's sitting at home in quarantine right now in COVID, who doesn't know what they're doing, maybe they're lost in their life, they don't know what their purpose is, and all they're getting in their day is just getting attacked by people on social media. You know, thoughts of suicide can be very much real, and these things happen, and people feel shitty, people get depressed, and you know, your words can really impact somebody in a way that maybe we don't even really understand. So, you know, I just wanted to say, as we're getting into this podcast, that, you know, if you do feel down, you do feel that, you know, maybe you don't have purpose, or you feel suicidal, like, you can talk to people, you know, you can reach out to people like me, you can reach out to your friends, you know, people that you may not even think care. I promise you they do care. So just remember that there's people there for you, and, you know, rest in peace to Divij Schaefer. It's such a terrible thing. But another crazy, really awful thing that happened, I think yesterday, was there was a terrifying crash as over 100 vehicles piled up and 5 people were dead, or are now named dead, on an icy Texas highway. And there's a video of this crash. It's actually like extremely disturbing. There was dozens of 18-wheelers, and it was basically just this massive chain reaction in Fort Worth on Interstate 35W. And there's a FedEx truck that looks like it's speeding, and it went straight into all these cars. And I mean, this is terrible, man. Especially, it sucks, man. It really sucks. You know, these tragedies do happen, and I think what I wanted to say about this, and this is so, you know, I know it's so weird because this is the LA Hustlers podcast and we talk about entrepreneurship and business, but these things are real, right? Like, these people are real people that are now dead because of this tragic accident. And I just want to say that, you know, I guess my message with this is obviously, like, don't text and drive. Do not be on your phone when you're driving. You know, that text to your friend can wait. You don't need to be checking Instagram. You don't need to be on TikTok. You know, you need to, like, or we all, and I'm guilty of it too, you know, I go on my phone all the time while I'm driving, and it's so bad. But these things can happen, and, you know, we need to really just be conscious of our actions and what we're doing, and literally just turn your phone off, just keep it on the side, keep it in the passenger seat, but don't be on your phone while you're driving. It's not cool. So anyways, guys, that's kind of some of the things I wanted to kick off with. But now to get into more of a not so negative note. I know this is such a weird transition, but I wanted to get into. So there's an article that I was reading on Complex about Jake Paul ripping Floyd Mayweather for taking shots at him. So obviously we know Jake Paul is fighting Ben Askren on April 17th, and an interview with Complex's Speedy Mormon discussing his boxing plans for 2021. Jake Paul spoke about his infamous bout with Nate Robinson, where he absolutely put Nate Robinson to sleep. If you haven't seen the fight, go watch the highlights. It's actually really hilarious. But he's actually talking about who he wants to fight after Ben Askren, and of course Mayweather. And he said, I quote Jake. He said, "He's an idiot. He's making himself look so stupid on such an important topic. It's embarrassing. It doesn't get under my skin at all. Everyone sees how out of pocket he is. I didn't even respond to it because it's self-explanatory. Look at this guy who just got cooked, put on ice skates, fell on his ass, and tried to come back making his post about race. It's thirsty. That's what a rat would do. It's just corny to me. It's bullshit." So, wow, definitely some harsh words there. And it seems like Jake Paul and Mayweather are not getting along. Obviously, Logan Paul's going to be fighting Mayweather here. I think he was supposed to fight him in February, and I don't think that's happening anymore, at least for February. I think it's going to be pushed back to maybe March or April. But it seems like maybe a Jake Paul Mayweather fight might be on the horizon. And I think that would be absolutely crazy. That's the greatest boxer of all time. Obviously, he's fighting Logan. Who knows what's going to happen? And then, from Logan to then fight Jake, that's a testament for really two different things. The first thing is it's a testament to Jake and Logan for being able to accomplish so much at such a young age and, really put boxing on the map in terms of just normal pop culture. I mean, they've done a lot for the sport of boxing. And, as somebody who boxes myself, I'm not a professional. I do it for fun. But, boxing is a sport that, it's very niche, right? And the fact that these YouTubers, Jake and Logan, have been able to take it and make it more mainstream, I think that's done a lot for the sport of boxing. It really has. And I think the other side of it is, Mayweather going from fighting real boxers, and not to say Logan and Jake aren't real boxers, they are, but, they are now that they've actually had professional bouts. But, for him to be engaging in Logan and Jake, it definitely shows just the power of Logan and Jake. And I think the Paul brothers are obviously fucking insane, and they've accomplished so much. And you can't hate on the hustle, right? You can hate on Jake Paul for all the things he says, but he is a fucking he's a savage, and he's 24. He's my age. I think he's 24, maybe even 23. And the fact that he's accomplished that much is it's absolutely crazy. So big shout out to Jake Paul and Logan. And anyways, guys, let's get into our next topic. The publisher of Hustler magazine, Larry Flynt, passed away at the age of 78. Obviously an adult entertainment magnate, definitely just a gangster in this space, but he was obviously best known for founding and publishing the Hustler magazine. Definitely made him one of the most powerful figures in the porn industry. There were years of legal battles obviously with the Hustler magazine. Obviously it just kind of comes with the nature of that business in the adult space, but it's very sad. I actually don't know how he passed away, but I was reading that and this is irrelevant to his death, obviously it's terrible, but in 1978, a serial killer, Joseph Paul Franklin, attempted to murder Flint in Gwinnett County, Georgia, where the publisher was fighting an obscenity case. The shooting left Flint paralyzed from the waist down, and he would spend the rest of his life using a wheelchair. Franklin was then hit with 8 unrelated murder charges and executed by lethal injection in 2013. That has nothing to do with Flynn's death, I don't think. But very sad to know that he's passed away. Obviously, a massive contributor in the adult space. Hustler magazine, we all know what that is. I know what that is. Big shout out to Larry Flynt. Lived a great life, added a lot of value to us as a society. But what else we got going on, guys? A lot of things going on in the world. Obviously, if you guys haven't heard, Elon Musk and Kanye West, this is completely separate of what we just spoke about, but Elon Musk and Kanye West are going to be speaking on Clubhouse, and there's been these massive conversations about, what they're going to talk about. Is this going to be a breeding ground for some new business ideas? Are they going to talk about Tesla, Bitcoin, Dogecoin? We're going to talk about Kanye West's mental health, his relationship with Kim Kardashian, his kids. I think people are very ecstatic and very curious about what that conversation is going to be like. And I personally am also very curious about what they're going to sort of talk about. But I think the conversation is definitely going to be Kanye ranting on and on and on about ideas and business. And I think, I don't know if Kanye has any sort of involvement in Tesla, but I definitely think there's going to be some conversation there about electric cars, of course, the Boring Company, SpaceX, etc. So very excited for that. And again, just on the topic of Clubhouse, if you guys haven't been on the Clubhouse app, I highly recommend you guys get on there. It's an absolutely amazing platform to meet the most amazing people. I was on a panel a couple days ago with Perez Hilton, Patrick Schwarzenegger, Grant Cardone, Gary Vee. I mean, just the fact that you can be in the rooms with these people having conversations is absolutely nuts. Like it's fucking crazy. People spend like a long time in like trying to write cold emails to get in contact with these people, but now they're just directly on this platform. So highly recommend getting on Clubhouse if you're not already on there. It's definitely a really great platform that I think is going to really, really, really be sort of the key social media in 2021, like 1,000%. A lot of other crazy things. Donald Trump is banned from ever rejoining SAG-AFTRA. SAG and AFTRA is the union, I believe, for acting. And apparently the president, Gabriel Carteris, and the national board approved a disciplinary hearing against Trump that was held on Saturday. And this resulted in Trump being barred from rejoining the union because of the way he treated members of the SAG-AFTRA during his presidency, explaining that his antagonism of the union's journalist members and disregard for the values and integrity of the union was intolerable. So we're seeing, I feel bad for Mr. Trump, man. He's obviously an insane businessman. He's done a lot in the field of real estate. He became the president of the United States, no longer obviously in office, but I heard he actually moved to Miami. I don't know how true that is, but I heard he moved out to Miami. I wonder what he's doing out there. But yeah, guys, crazy stuff. The other crazy thing is Bitcoin hit $47,000 because Tesla invested $1.5 billion into Bitcoin. Obviously, that caused the stock to shoot up. That caused the cryptocurrency to shoot up. And then the crazy thing was Tesla stock went up 2%, I think, that same day, which if you look at it in terms of market capitalization was actually $15 billion, meaning that literally within 24 hours, Tesla basically made 10x on their investment. Obviously, the stock price then dropped, but I think we're going to see Bitcoin's price continue to shoot up. If you don't own crypto, I highly recommend you guys getting into crypto. I'm not going to say which ones or how much you should buy, but I definitely am an owner of both Bitcoin and Dogecoin, funny enough. I know it's a joke, but Elon did tweet about it again yesterday, so very curious to see if how that price of Dogecoin goes up. Everyone's saying Dogecoin to the moon, Dogecoin to the moon, Dogecoin to $1, and honestly, I'm curious. Like, I really wonder if it's going to do that, and if it does, I think people are going to make a lot of money. And we're seeing these short squeezes. We saw it with GameStop, we saw it with AMC, with Nokia, BB, yeah. So I think Dogecoin could be that next short squeeze that we see. So yeah, guys, a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. That's really all I got for this episode. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the podcast. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe. If you're listening to this on audio, make sure you guys leave a review. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. And I'm definitely going to start having guests on the podcast. I'm still trying to think about who I want to have on here, but we'll definitely get some guests on here pretty soon. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and make sure you guys have a great week. And make sure you guys also go follow me on Instagram, check out Clubhouse, check me out on TikTok. And that's it for this podcast and this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.